Hey guys, it's Chris, the community manager for Etheria. In this episode, we're diving into an open chat that many of you have been waiting for. We're here today with Etheria's game director Jack and three amazing content creators, Volkin, SeanB, and Jenazad. Before we get started, I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves, starting with Jack.
Hello Hyperlinkers, this is Jack. Glad to meet you again. So Etheria Restart have official launched for about a month, and thank you so much for supporting Etheria. We have seen so many great players playing our game days and night, and we also received so many insightful feedbacks from the community. So now I think we take some time to talk with these great content creators, and hope we can share some information relate to these questions you concern, and also I would like to share some future plan for Etheria. Hope you enjoy tonight's talk. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Vulcan, just making content on YouTube for the game and streaming it and having some fun, so that's who I am.
Hey guys, I'm SeanB, and the same as Volkin, I also make a lot of content for the game. I used to make a lot of content for the other game, but now I'm 24/7 Etheria Restart player at this point.
All right. Hey, I'm Jenazad, and I've been playing a lot of Etheria Restart, like a ton, nonstop since the game released. But I have some harsh criticism, I'd say, for certain parts of the game, even though I really like it and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm glad to be here.
Welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. To kick things off, I'd love to hear your overall thoughts on the game so far. The game has launched for about a month now, and it's good timing to have a recap. So let's start with Vulcan.
All right, so for me personally, I've been thoroughly enjoying the game. Like, I've been playing it all day, every day. But kind of like Jenazad, there's a few things, a few major things, and a few like iron out things that I think we can work on along the way. I've thoroughly enjoyed, building my teams, getting into the PvP side of things. But obviously, some of the main issues that the community has had, between difficulty of bosses into gear loadouts and stuff like that. I think in general, the bones of the game is so fantastic, and if we can iron out some of these issues, for me, the biggest things that I would love to see is some sort of more advanced features into the gear management. And the other one I would love to see is turn order priorities in different combat, because with the game being as hard as it is, getting as many tools as we can to, theory craft and work our way around the problems would be fantastic. But like I said, the bones of the game is great. I love all the PvE aspects of it, the endgame modes in PvE. I really enjoy the RTA. The tournaments we've been having have been really fun, really enjoyable to watch some of the more endgame players, the bigger spenders as well, do some amazing things inside the game. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but there's always room for improvement is where I'm at.
So I personally agree with Volkin on every point. I've been loving the game so far. I've been playing level 94 at the moment. I play a whole lot, like maybe a little bit too much. And I think the biggest thing for me, besides the skill priorities, is definitely going to be the in-game economy that can be adjusted, because I love playing this game because I can build teams. Like I have every team for almost every Inferno dungeon in the game, but I also want to build the order teams to show the community that, hey, if you don't have Lily, you don't have Shadow Santa, you can actually work around these units. But even with playing a whole lot and spending money, I was having a very hard time just building up the order plan B, plan C kind of unit, because it's really hard to upgrade things in the game, and I hope that it's going to get addressed today, and I can love the game even more.
So I've really been enjoying Etheria Restart a ton. I totally agree with everything Vulcan and SeanB were saying. I think the game is great, just like Vulcan was saying, the bones are really good, but I think they really need to touch up on some of the difficulty endgame. I'm generally a PvP kind of centric player and like to kind of throw the PvE by the wayside. This has by far been the hardest PvE experience I've ever had in a gacha. It's been really overwhelming, actually, where it feels like I have to use every little resource just to be able to do some of the PvE content, and then you have to be switching your gear constantly to other stuff. So I feel like it would be really nice if there was a way to just instantly swap all of your gear to a specific team. So it's like, oh, I want to do Inferno Doki. okay, now I want to do Inferno Terratron, and just instantly swaps all the gear to that team or something. Also, I find I just don't have many resources, right? I think pretty much all of us are looking at our money every time we upgrade something, and it's just gone. It's just like, I upgraded 2 pieces of gear, it's gone. And then you look at the gear and you're like, this wasn't even good. So definitely I think scarcity and the difficulty combined makes a lot of people feel very desperate all the time. And also feeling like they need specific units in tandem with that causes a lot of people to feel FOMO, because they're like, oh, I can't immediately do this Inferno content. And I think the game is great. I've been really enjoying playing it, but I can also see a lot of players' frustration from these aspects.
Yeah. So first, thank you guys and for your passion and love for the game. I can see your content shared on YouTube, Twitch. So I watch most of them, I think. So I think, and also these voices also been shared in the community. So I think we have a lot of time. I don't go to detail because we will go to all these topics one by one. I think just to give us some time, and I think most of these issues, and we will try our best to provide a better experience. So maybe later we will go to some detail, and I will share some thought on these topics. Yeah.
Cool, thanks Jack, and thank you guys for the feedback. So we'll dive into some of those topics later. We've got those on the agenda. But for now, let's share some thoughts about the Hyper Talk we just released. We got some new characters, events, and more to talk about, so we'd like to hear y'all's thoughts.
Yeah, so for me, I'll kick it off with the new characters in themselves. I think they look really solid. I think with Fukui, if that's how we say her name, I'm
Fucho.
Really horrible.
Fucho.
There we go.
It's a Chinese character.
We were talking about this earlier. I have no idea on pronunciations. But I think she looks like a great option for like a lot of areas of the game. I really have to see how she works mechanically, because just from that little preview, I'm not too sure exactly how all the mechanics work, but like gauge advancing, healing, shielding, speed buff as well. I think one of the big issues in Doki Doki specifically, for people that don't have Lily, obviously Lily's a big talking point, or if you're not running like a burst real mocha comp, trying to find another speed buffer, because like the most reliable one we have is Red Kaz. But unfortunately, she's red and she just gets nuked. So you can't even bring her there. We do have other options, but they are mainly SSR options. But at least this will be one that you can target, try and get. And I think she's going to have good value in PvP as well. As for Nahor, if that's how I say it, correct me if I'm wrong on that one as well. I think the AoE freeze with Death Shred is a really obviously nice thing to have. You're getting damage amplification plus the freeze. The one thing I did notice with him is that his skill 2, I believe, is the first strip all buffs in the game. So that was something I really noticed about this game. A lot of other games have, cleanse all debuffs from allies, or cleanse or remove all buffs from enemies, and everyone's always 1, 2, sometimes with a multi-hitter like Heinrich. We've got 3, but he is only single target, but he is the first one that removes all buffs off an enemy. So I think he's going to have some utility as well, depending on different areas of the game.
I'm on the same page with Vulcan on the new character, looking very good for certain modes in the game. I'm more interested in Nahor. Is Nahor the male character? The male character, right?
Correct, yeah.
So I'm more interested about Nahor because he's the first character to AoE defense break and stun in the same skill, which is going to be extremely good for Doki Doki, because in the current situation, you have 1 unit to stun and then 1 unit to defense break in Doki Doki. So there's always a chance for you to miss the very important stun to take off the damage reduction on a certain target. So if you can have 1 defense break and stun and then another unit to defense break, then that's going to really help with the consistency of, let's say, the Remoka team, which is going to be amazing. And also for PvP in general, having a unit that can defense break and lock down enemy target immediately is going to be amazing, because there are certain mechanics in the game that can counter, let's say, claws, you defense break them, but they have on Strive, they'll cut in between and cleanse your entire team. But now you have Nahor to stun and defense break, which is going to stop that from happening, which is very, very cool. So I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. And because I've been saving my summon, I've been patient, I can hit pity on one of the characters pretty much immediately without spending a single dollar, which is not going to be a fun thing to tell Jack about. But, that's going to be great. I feel like I can hit pity on the next character is going to be very amazing for both PvE and PvP.
So I think having a defense breaker stunner is actually just a really big deal because those are two of the most impactful debuffs in the entire game at the same time. And we haven't really seen anything like that. I think it's really important though that we have the character that strips all buffs separate from that character though, because something that can really spiral out of control in this type of game is having a character that strips all immunities off someone and then immediately like stuns or defense breaks, and then people feel completely helpless, right? So I think it's actually really good that these aren't the same skill or anything like that. And I mean, just as SeanB was saying, it has so much utility in this PvE content because, I mean, as I was saying before, the PvE is really difficult. So you actually have to plan out so much with each one of these abilities. And having something that stuns and defense breaks, this is usable in like everything, really. Like, I think this has so much future use as well. It's really important. And I think it would be good if some of these previous characters that we have too, maybe some of the unused one could get bumped up to have a little bit more utility like that in the future as well. But I think these units are going to be pretty big for the game.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for your thoughts, and I hope you like these new characters. To add on some information, I just want to take this chance to share some share some thoughts about the new character release. So what's the plan, what's the frequency, and the banner, and so why we release these characters. So I just add on something to this topic. As you know, so already Chris already shared in the Hyper Talk. So we know that it's the banner. It's a little bit too frequently. So sometimes just 10 days or 2 weeks. There's new characters. It's a bit pressure for the players. So, but we, as we said, we are doing in this genre. We can see if we see the games on the market in this genre, they got 200, 300 characters, right? So because this kind of game is strategy and it's important. It's strategy and diversity and the team building. All this stuff needs more characters because more characters can provide more possibilities with this team up building. Because like some players are really creative to create some fantastic team builds. So that's why at the very beginning we launched, we only got 50 units, that's SR and SSR. So now we are close to 60, I think. So, but we think it's quite a lot, but still there's a gap between our goal, or it's make this game more fun and more diverse. So that's why at the very beginning we release the banners and characters a little bit more frequently. But after this banner, you can see, if you can check the duration of this banner, it will be 3 weeks. So before it's always 2 weeks, but from this banner it will be 3 weeks, and hopefully we can fix this this duration of these banners to 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks we will release new characters, and there won't be a back-to-back light and dark banner. So some players maybe, or sometimes there's one light and dark banner, then another again. So this won't happen. We try to manage that. And another thing is about SR. So maybe players think only SSR its value, and because it will generate some revenue for the game, right? But we also see in Etheria there are a lot of SR characters. They are also super powerful, and even some R characters like Vice. I saw a lot of players are using Vice because it's easy to build, right? So I think that's a part of our very beginning why we design these characters, because we want almost every character has its position. I shared in last live chat. So before launch. So that's our goal. We want to create every character has its position, and in somewhere even the R character. So that's our goal. So in the future we are not only release SSR characters, but also SR characters. There are several already in work in progress, and so we hopefully will release in other banners. So there will maybe SSR banner, and there's also new SR characters. So it's easy to get and easy to build. So that's our plan for in general. So how we release the new characters.
All right, thank you guys for that. That was some great discussion on the new characters. But now let's get into the new event that we revealed. I'd love to know your thoughts.
So according to what I saw from the video, I think that a new event is going to be very similar to the Cage Rumble type event because I saw many different bosses from the video that we have to challenge, and I hope the reward is going to be good because I think one of the biggest common theme about event in the game is that it's either a little bit too fast or a little bit too hard. So it's very hard for casual player to get all the rewards. So I wonder what the event is going to be like.
All right, I'll go next. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see about this event because I think the most important thing is people want a bunch of rewards or the chance to be able to get something really useful to push their account right now, especially since it's early on in the game. So I hope that the event is able to propel some of these players forward, especially people who might not be the strongest at the moment, people who are kind of in between the early and mid game or end game.
Cool, thanks. Vulcan?
Yeah, I pretty much just echo those two statements. I don't have anything else to add. So yeah, looks cool. I'm curious to see if you take statistics on whose dream gets entered the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So talking about rewarding, so we definitely hear the feedback from the community that previously some of the events they just need some challenge, too challenging for the casual players like that, or the reward is not as players expect. So when we design this event, so of course we put these thoughts in consideration. So first of all, I want to share is I believe this event will be the most rewarding event after launch among all these events. So we hope so. So that's our goal, to let players feel really rewarding in these new events. But I don't know if you noticed there are two, how to say, transport or
Portals?
Portals. Yes, there are two portals. There's one is light, one is dark. That so in general, so we also consider is there are two types of players. One, you want to play safe. You want to guarantee some reward. I recommend you go to the left one because there are not that much risk. You can always get the reward you want. But the other one you will put in some attention because it's kind of risky. You might double or even triple your reward, but sometimes you get lose your reward. So just that's you have to make careful choices. So that's my suggestion. But in general, this event is very rewarding. I hope you will enjoy it.
Perfect.
I'm going to take the risky portal, and then I'm going to lose everything and complain that it was the worst event of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of everyone. I think that's going to be everyone's experience.
I think that when you go stream, the players always you can let the players to make choice for you, right? Left or right.
Just while you're live streaming, all right, guys, which way am I going? And then
You know what they're voting for.
Yeah. Yes. So.
All right, cool. Thank you for that explanation, Jack. Let's get into talking about some of the quality of life adjustments and future plans. We'll start with Jenna this time on your thoughts.
Yeah, so let me talk about some quality of life things that I think would be really important for the game. So first of all, I think a lot of people are kind of in pain when they're swapping between different things that they're trying to farm. So like, let's say you want to farm Inferno Doki really quick, but then you look at your dailies and you're like, oh, I also have to farm this other thing, or you want to farm shells. It can take a long time sometimes to swap between all of your gear. I know we have gear sets, but I think something that would be really useful is team sets, where you can save an entire team with all of their gear together, because then you, at a click of a button, you could instantly go, oh, I want to do this one, and now I want to do this one. I think that would help a lot of people because it could be frustrating one by one swapping between everybody. I think that would be really great. And another thing I would say is I think that we're just so low on silver. It feels really rough. So same with upgrading shells sometimes. Is you feel like you farm for a while to upgrade something and it just takes forever. However, at least shells, you're guaranteed you know what you're getting. But with gear, sometimes you'll upgrade something to plus 15 and it's not even that good of a piece of gear, but you just used a full day of all of your energy for that. And I think a lot of players are hurting from it.
So I agree with all the points that people are saying. I think one thing that a lot of people in the community would say if they were in my spot right now, that I know that Jack wouldn't really agree, is the lack of skill up that we get in the game, which is the lattice for the SR and the SSR, because building these character to follow the content creator guide means I have to max skill red cast or max skill oboe, which I just can't do it right now, which is really, really hard. And I think it takes a long time to accumulate skill up in the game, which I think is the intention of the game. And a lot of skill up is hidden behind playing the game, like hyperlink chatter, like the Amber track or whatever. Like it's hidden because for a casual player, they would go into the shop to see if they can buy a skill up, and it's either with money or like a one skill up or two in the PvP shop, which they really hate doing. So I think in a way we can highlight the skill up we can get in other parts of the game. That's gonna be great, because personally I don't have a huge problem with skill up in the game, because like I have 10 years of experience playing a similar game, so I know what I'm doing. But to a casual player, I think that's gonna be a nightmare to get skill up. And another thing is that when you farm in the game, right now you farm a whole day and you kind of blow it in 2 pieces of module. I think another way to help people with that, with the feeling that I farm a day, I want to at least guarantee something, is to allow us to get the module crafting currency, the module essence, after farming, so that we can slowly build up to craft in the module shop. Because I think right now the only way is to spend money to buy the crafting material to craft potentially a bad piece as well. But if I can just farm, recycle, get the module essence, and target the piece of gear that I'm missing to make the set, I think that's gonna really help with a lot of people to feel that, okay, I farmed the entire day, I can craft 1 or 2 pieces of the set that I really need. Because I can farm an entire day and don't see a single swift rush, and that's gonna feel terrible. I just need 1 more piece, but I just don't see it. So I think being able to craft at least 1 or 2 swift rush or the momentum piece that they're missing is gonna help. Because one of the things that really helped me when I break through that small gap between like the one before hell was buying the $10 pack in the game that give you like the momentum of fury set that just complete my knitting instantly. I don't have to farm the next level to build my knitting, but I can just buy it in the module shop. So I think that's going to help a lot of people with the question, how do I farm Inferno without Inferno gear? Because that's what people think you need to farm Inferno, is to get Inferno gear to farm Inferno. But how do I do that? Is to buy in the shop. By farming a lot in Hell, you can potentially get Inferno gear in a way.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say this pain points or pain experience as player, as dev team, we also can feel. So as I mentioned, most of our team also play the game whole day. So we are also like level 90 plus like that. So we are in the tier 1 player level. So we personally experience all these game settings and economic. So and the players share in this community, and we also check every day. So we are aware of these problems or these not that good experiences. So first of all, but I want to share some thoughts of our game design thoughts. So why we set it like this and how we can improve in the future. Okay. In general, the economic, right? The economic of the game and the cost. So behind that, so that's why we set up like this way. Is I don't say now it's perfect, but just we see several games that if they doesn't manage very well, it's at the very beginning, in a very short time, the silver of the game is just useless, and the players has so much amount of the useless coins, and then they don't care about the reward from the events or the silver related events. So we don't want that to happen. But of course now because we are just launched 1 month, and we don't have that much events put in the game, and the players also cannot really beat the end game content. So you will feel the reward is not enough. So what we thought is we will in the future, like we shared before, so the new event, the Dream Escape, we want to, it will be a huge amount of reward, including the silvers and other stuff. So because as the game goes on and on, there will be new events, new reward, a lot of things going on. So we want to solve this problem by adding new events, and so we'll feel, and as the players progression, their account will be stronger and stronger. They will, in every event, they will get more reward. So I think it will slightly solve this problem. But of course, we will also check some other things, like so RNG things, bad experience in a game like the Inferno shell drop. Of course, it's not good, looking very good right now. I saw some screenshots that they do a 5 round or 10 round. It's all gold. It's no red. I saw that. So we are already trying to figure out a kind of PDC system, like at least every 5 round or 4 round, you at least get 1 red. So it's not 10 round you get nothing, right? Another thing is everybody knows in Inferno the gold one is already useless, right? So we want to replacement, but everybody's lack of the training data. So we will replace the golden ones into a special shell. You can call it training data shell. So when you get the golden one, it's not for battle. You can just sell it, but you get double or even, I don't know, just more training data to you. It's not for battle. It's when you get the gold one, you get more training data, so you won't feel that worse when you get a gold one. So all this solution we are already working on, and but it will take some time. It's just an idea, so we need some dev time and testing how it works. So, but what I want to say is we know this issue. We want to fix it, and with these solutions, I hope the players' general experience will be getting better. Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah.
I think one of the simplest solution is just like buff the training data drop, like simply 50%, not even double. I think just a little bit more so that you can actually max out one shell a day.
Yeah. The goal is the same, I said. So let's see. So we will figure out. So let's say, because I also want to feel drop, because the training data it's a number, so you cannot feel it's 1,000, it's 10,000, 2,000. You cannot really feel that. But we hope when we introduce this new training data shell, you can see, you get it, and it's rewarding because you get 5 of them, you get 50,000 of training data. That, so it's better than a useless red one. Even it's better than, because you sell a red one, you get 10K, let's say, then you get a gold training data shell, you get 20K. So you feel, oh, this is even better than some trash red one, right? Because the red one, if it's not perfect, you still want to sell it. So yeah, we already discussed a lot. It's just adding some number. It's easy, but it's not feel that good, and even you cannot feel it. Even we add it, you cannot feel it, right? So, but yeah, we will solve this problem, and I think it will make this experience a little bit better. Yeah. Then back to, I think let me ask, if you mentioned so many things during this period. If you can only choose one, I'm not saying we are only doing one, but if you can only choose one quality of life, which one do you want?
I think it would probably be the gear management, or like, honestly, I got the 2, gear management and skill order priorities. Those are my 2. I can't pick one.
We all choose one different one, so they have to do 3. Right?
Yeah. Well, how about we all choose 2 now?
Yeah. Okay. So we know that the gear management, we believe it's the most painful point now, because you have so many characters, so many different content you have to run, and even there are so many different PvE and the PvP modes. So internally, we already start a solution for this. So we are doing 2 things. I think it's basically what Jenazad has mentioned. I hope you will be satisfied when it's released. The first thing we are trying to do is for the team management, because we have team preset in the game, right? You can preset your team, but now the gears and the shells are not included. So we are trying to make a solution. When you preset a team, let's say a Doki Doki team, then the team modules and shells, all included. How about that?
That's perfect. That's great.
Sounds good. Yeah,
That's
sounds
exactly
great.
what we need.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The mostly because for PvE, because we have so many different dungeons, you need to really different team, even the same team sometimes with different gear set or shell. So I think if we finish this feature, I think this will be a huge improvement. And another thing is, for me personally, I usually have to switch from my Shadows area to another like let's say Kraken like that. So I also don't have that much gears for all these characters. So of course a separate for PvE and PvP gear set, we're also working on it. So hopefully and ideally when we launch this feature, you can get how to say, in your arena page, we have 3 arena, right? That's mostly for PvP. We will add a feature there. You can preset all your PvP gears. So then after you preset all your characters' PvP gear in all PvP content, including the Guild War and all these 3 modes of PvP, the character will only use these PvP gears.
Perfect.
But then, of course, they cannot share, it's all the characters still they have to manage. They cannot share the same one.
Obviously, yeah.
So they cannot share the same piece, but everyone could have, that's for PvP. And then when you go to PvE, you have this team set, the PvE, they will go to the PvE one. So it doesn't matter. And also someone mentioned about the Ethereina. So when we have this feature, the problem also solved, because someone said they should have a snapshot of the gears, but you already have a PvP set, then no problem, because in Ethereina they will automatically goes to the PvP set. So I think when we add these 2 features, a lot of problem will be solved. But it's complicated because we already have this gear management and all these things, so you just need some time to develop. I share today is we already started. We started the solutions and the design plans, but it will take some dev time, especially a lot of testing based on this. But we will work. We are already working on it. We hopefully will release. That's what I said in the next few updates. But please be patient. We already put this very high priority for these 2 features. So let's hope we can release soon. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's really great to hear, actually. Well, if you guys are fixing that, then I guess the one thing that I would want would probably just be a little bit more resources, so the resources don't feel so.
You already choose 2. You already choose 2, right?
All right, guys. Now that we've asked Jack a bunch of questions, it's time for Jack to ask some back. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask them?
Yes, I think we talk quite a lot about PvE content and the economic and all this stuff in our game. But Etheria is not only a PvE game. We also have PvP content like RTA, like the Fearless Arena, all this stuff. And we got EWS, the tournament, official tournament is running. So for me, I just want to hear about you guys, your general feeling about the PvP content and all this stuff. The experience in Etheria. Do you have any suggestions or feedback according to this PvP part?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to start off because I've had a great experience on stream with the RTA especially. So I started a new account on Asia's server 2 weeks in, so it's only about 2 weeks old now. And, we've been playing up until basically floating now between Platinum 3 and Diamond 1, where you get the new rule set. And it was just really fun playing some games and, doing the sort of off meta thing where I had my Lily, but she was just my band bait, and then I'd have a really fast O-ball that just stuns everyone at the start. Obviously, higher ranks, you got more bulwark that doesn't work. But I think even on the early game stage where, I was level 40 to 50, beating level 80 to 90 accounts, it has that real fun and strategy about it in the RTA. And honestly, it's the side of the game that I enjoy the most, even though I'm a free-to-play player. I just love RTA. I love strategizing, coming up with teams, and doing all that stuff. I think honestly the biggest downfall for me in terms of playing RTA on the first account that I created was that I hit Inferno, and then I had to I was having so much fun pushing RTA, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to reprioritize absolutely everything for trying to sort out this Inferno grind. So I think in general, PvP is just really fun side of the game. I've been hosting a bunch of the tournaments as well, and you get to see some really cool stuff in the tournaments. It was very, last tournament we had, it was very bruiser heavy, which is a strat I personally love. But then when you're a spectator and you've gone through 4 bruiser matches and then you come up to 2 blokes both running complete Revelation builds, and it's like, who's going to outspeed and Revelation nuke the other one, or are they on Bloodbath? Like there's all those different strategies. And I think on a spectacle, I've really enjoyed hosting some of these tournaments because you get to see some really cool strategies. And from a player level, as a free-to-play player on an account that was 2 weeks old, like I still got to, create my own strategies that could outplay people that had been playing longer than me. So I love RTA. That's why that was the main thing that drew me into the game. And I think it's going really well. As for the standard arena, as you mentioned earlier about some of the gear changes you guys have possibly in the works, I think that would solve a lot of that, because I think one of the main frustrations with the Ethereina is just when you're farming gear and you have to change the gear, and your defense just keeps losing. As for the Fearless Arena, I love the rewards in it. I think the whole format of it is great as well. And yeah, I think I would be interested to see maybe some rotations in that Fearless Arena, because it's only a weekend thing. It's not the most serious thing. You're not trying to rank in ladders in that. I think once we get a bit further into the game, it'd be interesting to see maybe different restrictions, like maybe no SSR in the Fearless Arena, because it's just a side mode that's a bit of fun. So I think maybe it could evolve later on to have more, fun aspects to it, considering at the end of the day, it's not a massive stress if you're not winning all those games.
Yep. Sean, and you?
I think I'm more focused on the Ethereina, the AI one, but to me it's not really PvP. It's more, to me it's like another Inferno level dungeon in there. If you beat it, then you get rewarded very heavily, which is amazing. And I think that is where a lot of casual player will also focus on, because that is where you don't lose a lot and you win a lot from that content, which give people a very good feeling from playing a PvP game. And personally, I've reached Mythic rather comfortably, and I get a lot of rewards from that, but a lot of people would not get to Mythic that easily. And I think the problem with that content right now is the gear swap thing, which hopefully is going to be fixed in the future. But I think another problem I have with the content is when you go to the arena shop, the first shop that allows you to buy the Lattice is very, very expensive to a non-super 6 hours a day kind of guy like me. And they feel like they're going to be missing out on the perfect and the evolution Lattice, which can be kind of a big deal for a lot of players, because that's where a lot of progression is being gated behind. Is that, do you have your Linglo skill 1 max? Do you have your Kachi the God skill 3 max? And I think reducing the price on the Ethereina shop is going to really help a lot, because not everyone can play five matches a day, or remember to play 5 matches a day, or not everyone can afford the feeling of using their pool currency to refresh the arena ticket to do another 10 so they can get the rewards in there. Personally, I do, because it's not a big deal for me and I can get all the rewards in there, but it's definitely going to be a problem for many players, and I wish that the prices of the Ethereina could just be a bit more affordable for the players. That'd be amazing. And because you can also buy all the progression items in there, but because it's in there and you can't buy it, it feels kind of bad. And in terms of RTA, I absolutely love it. I love doing RTA in Summoner, so I think I do easily 300 RTA tickets per week, and I would love to do more, because it's so much fun doing RTA all the time. But the problem with doing RTA in this game is I win 20 matches and I'm done. I don't feel the motivation to do more RTA than I need to, and it feels kind of bad to do more for basically no gain. And I can see all the item in the shop that I can buy if I play more, but I can't now because there's just no reward for RTA. And I wish that the RTA participation mission could reset every single week. I think they don't reset every single week now, which is kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people for doing RTA. And I hope that RTA participation can be much higher if just the reward for doing it reset every single week. That would be very, very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So first, thanks for your feedbacks. And I think first back to Sean's feedback. So it's a little bit challenging, you know. So like I said, our game is not only PvE but also PvP content. But how to balance in these two content, it's really challenging, because every player's play style and their how to say, their favorite content is different. Someone really love to play RTA every day, and also we see some people playing freeless arena. There's one guy, he got 70 championship in that week. So you know, he really tried to play that. But some people, they also feel very stressful to play RTA, because it's very stressful, because there are a lot of good players there, and you can always lose in the RTA. So if we make that reward even higher, you know, maybe some people will say, oh, I always get to lose, I have to play more RTA, and or I will lose that reward. So it's still hard to balancing, but we will of course collect more data and try to make a balance. Back to the refresh of the how to say, the tasks and like that. I just want to bring up is we generate, before we set the season, it's 3 months. It's a 3-month season, but after we run this game, we think maybe this is a little bit too long. So in the next patch, we will try to reduce this season reset into 4 to 6 weeks. So it's not fixed, because we will have to align some events or some updates. So it's, in general, it's a 1 month, 2 months. No, sorry, it's 2 months. It's around 8 weeks, like that. It's a 2 month season. So then the rewards for RTA will be more frequently to get, and the task reset, we will try to see if we can also make it some adjustment about that. That's back to RTA. But in general, so I think that's also the fun part of our game. It's the PvP part, and but the PvE, it's a cycle to when you make progression, you can have more fun, have more possibility or more strategy in the PvP part. So in general, that's what's make Etheria. So when you enjoy the PvP farming and the progression, then you can also enjoy the PvP part. And also that's why we also hold this tournament in the end, just a few weeks later, in middle July. So there's we already have some players already qualified for the final stage, and they will come to Shanghai, and we will live broadcast the final tournament. So let's just hope the players, you can support. You can also, will have in-game events. You can support your players and watch the tournament. Hope you will enjoy this tournament. Yeah. Okay, then I think we have last one question is everybody care about is the double job. So last time I think a lot of players, I don't know, have a great time or just too much grinding time, and but I think still it's one of the most rewarding event in our game. We know that, so I will just take this chance, like back to Volkin's question, how this is supposed to be and how frequently this event will happen. So in general, because you know this event is rewarding but also quite time consuming, right? You will spend whole bunch of time hours farming all the dungeons, because players will save a lot of stamina for this event, we know. So that's why at the very beginning we said we only announce this event 5 days before. We don't want you to save months or to that. So that means this event won't happen too frequently. Too frequently means it won't happen twice in a month. It won't. It's just too much if it happens twice in a month. So in general, we hope it's we design it's we will launch this event 4 or 6 weeks. I think that's a 4 to 6. It's not fixed 30 days, because sometimes we have to match some of our big updates or some let's say big holiday, like let's say Christmas, right? Before Christmas or New Year, Happy New Year, maybe we will fix the schedule to that New Year or New Year, like that. So it's not fixed 4 weeks, but every 4 or 5 weeks, I think. So we plan to at least do this double job. I think as we already talked about here, and I think the players are already asking what's the next time. So I just tease. I think we will announce this next event right at just the next week. So I just announced it. So next weekend, I think. So the official announcement will come out Monday. So as we said, so we will 5 days before that. So it will be Monday official announcement, and then the next weekend we will do it. So that's for July stuff job. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for today, like joining us, especially for all this time we've been here. We really appreciate it, and all of this feedback is super valuable to us and our team. I hope we can continue conversations like this in the future, especially with Hyper Talks, just meetups like this. It's really important for the game health, and we all believe in this game and building it the best that it can be. And we might have a rocky start sometimes, but it's like there's so much here to work with, and the future is bright. And thank you guys for being patient and really working hard to provide this feedback, and we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, and thank you for all the great content, the amazing content you have created, your live stream and the tournament, all this stuff you have provided to this community. And I also want to again to take this chance to thank all these players, the amazing players who joined this journey with us. And we're not a perfect game, we're just a start, we're just 1 month, so it will take time to improve, and we are always trying to improve. So please always keep your voice in the community. And we have, I said again, we have our community manager, and myself is there. I apologize that after launch maybe I'm a bit quiet in the community. It's because there are really a lot of stuff ongoing. We were preparing the new content, doing the patches, fixing bugs, and we're also preparing there are some regions still not launched yet, like mainland China. Even our mainland China players cannot play the game, and Japan, Taiwan, and Korean, like this stuff. So a lot of stuff preparing. So I will try to be more active and to hear from your voice, and try to make more communication through this kind of event. Just thank you again, and hope you to support Etheria, and let's together make this game better and better. Thank you.
Thanks. And I just want to chime in quickly and just say thanks to you guys as well for having us on, because I have played so many games over the last 8 years, and this, like, to be able to be like just get told, hey, can you come on a call with the director of the game, ask any question you want, and away you go, like no filters, like it just doesn't happen. So I do really appreciate the fact that you guys still do these things and communicate, even when things aren't running as smoothly as the smoothest they could be. Like, being able to do this stuff and have transparency, I think is great. So once again, just thanks for having us on, and
I do really like this game, and I think you guys are really going in the right direction right now with some of these decisions you guys are making. The community was a little upset over, some of the recent stuff in the recent past, but I think you guys are doing a great job with more communication, and also setting up this meeting is a great idea too. And I apologize that I'm kind of screwing up the entire meeting, but I'm very thankful that you guys were even willing to invite me, and I'd love to come on again on my actual PC and not mess things up. And just thank you for inviting creators like us who genuinely like your game and want it to succeed, because we all want to see this game do well, and of course you guys do too. So
thank you guys, and shout out Jenna. Thank you, Jenna. We'll have him next time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye.